Hey everyone, ready for a deep dive into making smarter choices?
I'm ready.
Okay, awesome. We're going to be looking at Som Bathla's book, Make Smart Choices.
Yeah.
So using the excerpts that you sent in,
Great.
it's a book that's absolutely packed with advice, and it's all about helping you unlock your full potential. So let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
So Bathla starts out, like right away in chapter 1, talking about how complex decision-making really is.
Right.
It's not easy.
Oh, absolutely not.
Think about even just your own life, right?
Yeah.
Like choosing a career, buying a house.
All those big ones.
I was even thinking deciding to get a pet.
Oh, yeah, sure.
There's so many factors that go into those decisions.
Yeah.
It's so easy to feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, it is. And I think, one of the things that Bathla does a really good job of is he sort of lays out the different, factors and uncertainties involved.
Yeah.
And he talks about the fear of making the wrong choice, the opinions from family and friends. Oh, yeah, totally.
And how the stakes just get higher and higher.
Right.
Depending on what kind of decision you're making.
Exactly. Yeah, the pressure is real. Okay, so then in chapter 2, he gets into why we make bad choices.
Right. Yeah.
Because, we've all been there, right?
Right.
So let's talk about these cognitive traps that he describes.
Sure.
What are some of the big ones that, stand out to you?
Well, the first one that I always think of is the anchoring trap.
Ooh, okay.
You know how the first piece of information you get about something really can influence your whole perception?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever noticed how when you see a price for something for the first time, that sways how you think about the value of that thing?
Totally.
That's the anchoring trap.
Yeah.
It can be really powerful, especially when you're thinking about big purchases, Bathla says.
That's so sneaky. It's like our brains just latch onto that first piece of info and then it's that's the standard now. That's it. Yeah. And it can really throw everything off.
Totally.
And then there's the status quo trap.
Okay.
We humans, we love our routines.
We do.
Even when they're not really doing us any favors.
Yeah.
Think about it your tech habits.
Uh-huh.
Are you holding on to an old phone?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Outdated software.
Yeah. I feel personally attacked right now.
That's the status quo trap, right? Those comfort zones, they can really cost you.
Ouch. Yeah, I guess upgrading isn't always about just getting the shiny new thing, right?
Right.
It's also about making sure you're not stuck in the past.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so that one hit a little close to home.
Yeah.
What other traps should we be aware of?
Well, we can't forget about the confirming evidence trap, especially online these days.
Uh-huh.
It is just so easy to surround yourself with information that, just agrees with what you already think.
Yeah, totally.
It's like an echo chamber.
Right.
But that can really stop you from seeing the full picture.
Yeah, it's like confirmation bias, right?
Yeah.
You're just cherry picking the data to support your own biases.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so knowing about these traps, that's step 1.
Right, yeah.
But how do we actually become better decision makers?
Well, one of the things that Bathla talks about is this concept of decision maker archetypes.
Okay.
And he lays out, 4 main types: the maximizers, the satisficers, the perfectionists, and the optimists.
Ooh, I like this.
Yeah.
It's a personality quiz for decision making.
Exactly. And he really argues that it's about understanding your own tendencies, what are your patterns and how do they influence your choices.
So the maximizers, they're the ones who are all about finding the absolute best option.
I mean, they're going to do tons of research, weigh every pro and con.
Yeah.
I can see how that could be both a blessing and a curse. Right. I mean, they might make really great choices in the end, but it can be exhausting.
Yeah, and it can take a while, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And then you have your satisficers.
Okay.
These are the folks who are all about efficiency,
Okay.
They're going to go with the first option that just meets their basic needs.
So they're all about just getting it done.
Getting it done, yeah.
Yeah, okay. What about the perfectionists?
Oh, the perfectionists.
They sound a little intense.
Yeah, well, they're aiming for flawless decisions, right?
Right, I see.
They set really high standards, which can be great.
Uh-huh.
But it can also lead to procrastination.
Oh, yeah.
And difficulty actually making any choice at all.
Because, what if it's not perfect, right?
Exactly, yeah. Fear of making a mistake is huge for them.
I can see how that would be totally paralyzing.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we got the optimists.
The optimists.
They sound like a breath of fresh air.
They do. They really do. Yeah, they approach decisions with, a really positive outlook.
Okay. Focus on the benefits, the potential good things,
Uh-huh.
which can be great, right?
Yeah,
For motivation.
absolutely.
But sometimes you need a little dose of realism, too.
Yeah, like a reality check.
A reality check, exactly.
Right.
So it's really, with all of these archetypes, it's about balance.
Balance.
It's
Right.
recognizing those strengths and weaknesses that you bring as a decision maker.
Okay, so we've got these archetypes and we know about the traps, but how do we actually combat those unconscious biases that can totally mess us up?
Well, that's where, I think chapter 4 comes in really handy.
Okay.
Bathla gives us some techniques for what he calls eradicating erroneous thinking.
No.
He really digs deep into those, biases, those sneaky biases
Yeah.
that can just cloud our judgment. Things like unconscious associations.
Unconscious associations. Okay, so give us an example.
Okay, well, think about, have you ever had a bad experience with a certain brand?
Yeah, totally. And then from then on, you just kind of unconsciously avoid all their products.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it was just a one-time fluke.
Yeah.
That's unconscious associations at work.
So it's like our past experiences can, totally color our perceptions.
You do, yeah.
Without us even realizing.
Without us even realizing it, yep.
What other biases should we be watching out for?
Well, there's one that's called liking or mirroring bias.
Liking or mirroring bias.
Okay. Which basically means, we tend to be drawn to people and ideas that are similar to our own.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is natural.
Uh-huh.
But it means that we might favor information that just kind of already fits with our worldview.
Yeah.
Even if it's not really accurate.
Yeah. So it's like we're seeking out echoes of our own beliefs instead of really, being open to different perspectives.
Exactly.
That's
It's like we're looking for people to agree with us instead of actually listening.
Right. So how do we, break free from these biases and start thinking more clearly?
Well, one of the things Bathla suggests is to try to adopt what he calls an observer's perspective.
Okay.
Imagine that you're giving advice to a friend who's facing the same decision.
Yeah.
By detaching a bit from our own emotions,
Yeah.
we can get a little bit more objective.
That's a great strategy.
Yeah.
It's stepping outside of ourselves to, see things from a fresh angle.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that. Now let's talk about information overload because
yeah, that's a big one these days.
huge. I mean, in today's world, we're just bombarded with data from every direction.
Every direction.
More information must be better, right?
Well, not necessarily.
Okay.
That's actually what Chapter 5 is all about.
Uh-huh.
Too much information, he argues, can actually lead to paralysis.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We get bogged down in all those details. We struggle to prioritize.
Yeah.
And we end up just more confused than ever.
So how do we, navigate this information overload without, drowning in data?
Well, one of the things that he does is he challenges the idea that decisions always have to be a yes or no.
Oh, interesting.
He says sometimes it's more helpful to look at a range of options.
Okay.
A spectrum.
Yeah, I like that. Can you give us a real life example?
Sure, yeah. So let's say you're thinking about changing careers.
Okay.
Right. Instead of just being should I stay or should I go?
Uh-huh.
You might ask yourself what are different ways that I can incorporate my passions into my work?
Okay.
Right? Maybe it's a new role, maybe it's more training, maybe it's starting your own business.
Yeah, totally.
It doesn't have to be just black and white.
Right. It's shifting from black and white thinking to a whole rainbow of options.
Exactly.
I love that. Yeah. What other tips does he have for handling information overload?
Well, he talks about multi-tracking information.
Okay.
So don't just rely on one source. Read articles, talk to experts, really explore different viewpoints.
Yeah. Get all sides.
Yeah, get all sides. But at the same time, avoid getting lost in the weeds,
Oh, right.
Balance is key.
So it's being a detective.
Yeah.
You're gathering clues from different sources
Uh-huh.
to try to get the full picture,
Yeah.
but then also knowing when to stop investigating and make a decision.
Exactly. Because sometimes too many options, it can be really overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So we've tackled those cognitive traps, and we've got some strategies for dealing with information overload.
Right.
Now, get ready for a twist, because Chapter 6 brings in this concept of Ancient intelligence.
Ancient intelligence. Yes.
Okay, this sounds really interesting.
It really is.
So what does ancient intelligence even mean?
Well, he's really exploring this idea that, timeless wisdom, the principles that have guided people for centuries,
Okay.
can still be really relevant to our modern decisions.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Like, how does this ancient intelligence actually help us make, like, smarter choices today?
Well, he introduces this methodology called PRO-ACT,
Pro-ACT.
which stands for problem, objectives, alternatives, consequences, and trade-offs.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Okay, so break that down for us a little bit.
Okay, sure. So first, you clearly define the problem you're trying to solve.
Okay, so start with the problem.
Start with the problem, then you identify your objectives.
So, like, what do you actually want to achieve?
Exactly. And then you brainstorm alternatives.
Uh-huh.
Like, what are the different paths that you could take?
Okay.
What are your options, basically?
So far, so good.
Yeah,
It's like creating a roadmap for our decision.
exactly, yeah.
Okay, what comes next?
Then you consider the consequences.
Of each alternative.
Of each alternative, what are the potential outcomes, both positive and negative?
Okay, yeah.
And finally, you weigh the trade-offs. What are you willing to sacrifice?
Uh-huh.
What are your non-negotiables?
Okay, so that's a pretty thorough approach.
It is.
It's like covering all the bases.
Yeah.
But how does this connect back to ancient intelligence?
Well, what Bathla argues is that these principles, they've been used throughout history. Think about leaders, strategists, military commanders. They've always had to grapple with, making tough decisions.
Right.
So by drawing on this, historical wisdom, we can gain a lot of valuable insights.
It's like tapping into this well of collector knowledge.
Exactly, yeah.
So by using Pro-ACT, it's like we're not just like making a decision, we're participating in a process that's been refined over generations.
I like that. That's a great way to put it. Welcome back to our deep dive on making smart choices. Last time we were talking about those cognitive traps and those decision-making archetypes.
Yeah, the
It's-
personality quiz for decision making. I loved that.
Right. It's all about recognizing how your own tendencies can kind of trick you into making choices that maybe aren't the best.
Totally. But once you're aware of those tendencies, it's like you can start to make more conscious decisions.
Exactly, yeah. And we even talked about that perspective hindsight thing, right?
Yeah, it's like having a time machine to help us make decisions in the present.
Right. It's all about aligning our choices with our long-term goals, with who we want to be down the line.
So cool.
Now, I'm curious, have you ever noticed how after a long day of making decisions, big or small, you just feel mentally wiped out?
Oh my gosh, all the time.
Wow.
Like by dinner time, even deciding what to eat feels like a huge effort.
Yeah, well, that's decision fatigue in action.
Decision fatigue, is that a real thing?
It is. Bathla explains that our brains, they actually have a limited capacity for decision making.
Okay,
As we make more choices throughout the day, our mental energy gets depleted.
makes sense.
And we're more likely to just give in and make impulsive choices, not the best ones.
Like our decision-making muscle gets tired.
Exactly. So what can we do about it? Well, one thing Bathla suggests is to streamline your routine. Automate those everyday choices as much as you can. Things like meal prepping for the week.
Oh yeah, good.
Or laying out your clothes the night before. Anything to kind of reduce that mental load.
That's a great tip. It's like putting your decision-making on autopilot
Mm.
for those everyday things.
Right. You free up space for the bigger decisions.
Makes sense. What else can we do to like conserve that mental energy?
Prioritize. Tackle the most important decisions when your energy's high, usually earlier in the day.
Okay.
And then take breaks. Don't forget to take breaks. Even a short walk or a few minutes of meditation can really help you recharge.
Yeah, like hitting the reset button.
Exactly.
So those are some practical things we can do to combat decision fatigue.
Yeah, definitely. Now, shifting gears a little bit, what about the emotional side of all this?
Oh yeah, our feelings. Got to factor those in, right?
Absolutely. Bathla actually dedicates a whole chapter to emotional intelligence, which he defines as, the ability to understand and manage not only our own emotions, but the emotions of others as well.
So it's not just about being logical, it's about being aware of how our feelings are kind of mixed in with our choices.
Exactly. How do we develop that emotional intelligence, that superpower? Well, he says, start with self-awareness.
Self-awareness. Okay.
Pay attention to your emotions. What triggers those strong reactions? How do your feelings influence your thoughts and behaviors?
It's like becoming an observer of your own emotional landscape. kind of.
Exactly. And then there's empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. By putting ourselves in their shoes, we can make decisions that consider everyone involved.
So we're not just making choices in a vacuum.
Right, exactly.
We're thinking about like the ripple effects on the people around us.
Absolutely. And finally, he talks about emotional regulation, being able to manage those emotions so they don't hijack your decision making.
Okay. So finding healthy ways to deal with stress and all of that.
Exactly, so it doesn't cloud your judgment. So finding that sweet spot between logic and emotions. Now let's talk about something we all have to face at some point.
Okay. What's that?
Uncertainty. Life is full of the unexpected.
Oh, tell me about it. Sometimes it feels like uncertainty is like everywhere.
Yeah, it can be really overwhelming. So Bathla has a chapter on embracing uncertainty, and it's about learning to view the unknown not with fear, but as a chance to grow and learn new things.
Okay, that sounds great.
It does.
But in practice, it's like, how do you actually do that?
Well, one strategy is to focus on what you can control.
Okay.
Instead of dwelling on all the what ifs, all the things you can't change, identify the areas where you can actually take action.
So shift your focus from worry to action.
Exactly. Another thing he suggests is cultivating a growth mindset. So instead of seeing challenges as setbacks, see them as opportunities to learn.
So even when things don't go your way, you can learn something from it.
Yeah, it's all about reframing those failures into valuable data points,
Mm.
helping you make better decisions in the future. And be patient with yourself. That's a big one. Uncertainty can be intense. Practice self-compassion. Remind yourself that you have the strength to get through it, even if you don't have all the answers right now.
That's a good reminder. We don't have to have it all figured out.
We don't. We're all learning as we go. Now, what about intuition? Have you ever made a decision based on gut feeling?
Oh, absolutely. All the time.
Bathla dedicates a whole chapter to the power of intuition. While logic and analysis are important, he says our gut feelings often have a wisdom of their own.
I totally agree. But how do you know when to trust your gut and when to stick with logic? It can be tricky to tell the difference.
That's the million-dollar question, right? Well, he says to pay attention to those subtle cues from your body. Those feelings of excitement, unease, that sense of knowing that something is right or wrong.
It's like our bodies are trying to tell us something if we just listen.
Exactly. Practice mindfulness, become more aware of those sensations. He even suggests keeping a journal to track your intuitive hits and misses.
Oh, wow, that's a good idea.
You can start to see patterns. Do you tend to be right when you get a certain feeling or wrong? That can help you learn to trust your gut more. And then make space for reflection, for solitude.
Oh, yeah, that's so important. In today's world, it's so easy to just be constantly plugged in.
It is, yeah. Carve out time for quiet contemplation, meditation, walks in nature, anything that helps you reconnect with that inner voice.
It's like giving your intuition a chance to be heard amongst all the noise.
Exactly.
Wow, I'm starting to see decision-making in a whole new light now. What about values, though? Like, shouldn't our values be guiding our choices?
You're absolutely right. Bathla dedicates a whole chapter to aligning decisions with your core values. He argues that when your choices are in harmony with your deepest beliefs, the things that are truly important to you, you'll find more fulfillment, a sense of purpose.
So it's about, like, walking the walk, not just talking the talk.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, but first you have to figure out what those core values actually are, which can be tough.
yeah, how do you even do that?
Well, he says, think back to times in your life when you felt the most alive, the most yourself, the most fulfilled. What values were at play in those moments?
So it's like looking for clues in those peak experiences, trying to figure out what made them so meaningful.
Exactly. He also says to think about your legacy, like what impact do you want to have on the world? What values do you want to embody? Once you have a handle on those core values, you can use them as a compass, to guide your decision making.
It's like having a personal mission statement that informs your choices.
That's a great way to put it.
This has been another amazing part of our deep dive. We've covered so much. Decision fatigue, emotional intelligence, embracing uncertainty, and now aligning choices with our values.
A lot to think about.
All right, welcome back to our deep dive into Make Smart Choices. It's our final part, and we've covered a lot of ground so far.
Yeah, we have, from those sneaky cognitive traps to the importance of emotional intelligence and even, tuning into our intuition.
It's been amazing, but I'm really excited for this part because now we get to, like, put it all together.
Yeah, the rubber meets the road now.
Exactly. We've got all these tools in our decision-making toolkit, so let's learn how to actually use them.
Well, Bathla really emphasizes decisive action in this last part of the book.
Okay, decisive action.
It's not enough to just think about things endlessly.
Oh, I know that feeling. Just getting stuck in overthinking mode.
Right. We have to take concrete steps to move forward.
So how do we break free from that?
Well, he suggests setting clear deadlines.
Deadlines.
Sometimes we need that external pressure to actually get us going.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
It's like having a launch date for a project.
Right, it creates that sense of urgency.
Exactly. It focuses the mind. He also recommends breaking down those big, overwhelming goals into smaller, more manageable steps.
Oh yeah, that's a classic, but it's so helpful.
It is.
It's like instead of trying to climb Mount Everest all at once, you focus on getting to base camp first.
I like that analogy.
And then you celebrate those small wins along the way,
Yeah.
which keeps you motivated to keep going.
Exactly. Yeah. Create that momentum. Now, what happens when things don't go exactly as planned?
Yeah, the inevitable setbacks.
We've all made decisions we later regretted.
Oh yeah, for sure. What does Bathla say about learning from those mistakes?
Well, he actually emphasizes that setbacks are just an inevitable part of the journey.
Okay.
The key is to see those so-called failures not as personal defeats, but as learning opportunities.
So it's all about perspective.
Exactly. Instead of beating yourself up, take some time to reflect.
Yeah.
What went wrong? What could you have done differently?
So it's like turning those mistakes into data points to make better decisions in the future.
Yeah, exactly. He also recommends getting feedback from others.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes an outside perspective can be really helpful to see things that we might have missed.
All right, like a mentor or a trusted friend, someone who can give you honest feedback.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about fear for a minute.
Ooh yeah, fear.
I think we all experience fear, especially when making big decisions. It can be really paralyzing.
Totally. Like those inner voices that tell you you're not good enough or brave enough.
Oh, I know those voices well. Bathla acknowledges that fear is natural, especially when you're pushing yourself outside your comfort zone.
Okay.
But he says we don't have to let it control us.
Okay. Easier said than done.
So how do we manage it? Well, one powerful technique is to reframe how we think about fear.
Okay. Reframe fear.
Instead of seeing it as a sign that we're on the wrong path, what if we saw it as a sign that we're growing?
So like turning that I'm scared feeling into I'm excited for this challenge.
Exactly. It's a reminder that you're pushing your boundaries.
Okay, I like that.
He also suggests challenging those negative thoughts, the ones that fuel our fears.
Well-
A lot of times they're based on old stories or assumptions that aren't even true anymore.
So put those fears on trial.
Yeah. Gather the evidence. Are they really valid? And you know what else can be really powerful? Visualization.
Oh, visualization, yeah.
Imagine yourself successfully navigating that situation that you're afraid of. Picture yourself overcoming those obstacles and achieving your goal.
It's like giving yourself a mental pep talk.
Exactly. It builds confidence and makes those fears feel a little less scary.
I love that.
So we've reached the end of our deep dive into Make Smart Choices. It's been quite a journey.
It really has. And, I think one of the biggest takeaways for me is that making smarter choices is a process.
Absolutely. It's ongoing. It's not about being perfect. It's about constantly learning and growing.
Yeah, and being kind to ourselves along the way.
Exactly. Because mistakes happen. It's what we do with them that matters. And remember, you don't have to do it alone.
Oh, right, the support system.
Reach out to mentors, connect with people who inspire you.
It's like having a team of cheerleaders and coaches in your corner.
That's a great way to put it. So, to wrap it all up, every choice we make is a chance to shape our future.
That's a powerful thought. Well, that's it for our deep dive into Make Smart Choices. We hope you feel empowered to make decisions that align with your goals, your values, your dreams.
And most importantly, to enjoy the journey.
Until next time, happy deciding, everyone.